This podcast is a member of the Place to Be Nation family. Visit us at placetobenation.com, the only place to be in your pop culture world.
Hello everyone, it's Greg here. Before we begin this episode, I just want to mention, when we taped this episode on Friday, there's a mention at one point of my good friend Blade Braxton from WrestleCrap.com, and it broke about 3 hours ago at the time I'm recording this, just around midnight on March 29th, that he unfortunately passed away over the weekend. And I just want to send my condolences out to his family and to his partner at WrestleCrap.com, Artie Reynolds. Needless to say, Blade was one of my comedy influences on the internet back in the day, and I was in contact with Blade on and off over the years. Actually, just a couple of days ago, I made an Instagram post regarding Charlie Steiner at the WrestleMania 2 press conference that was on the WWE Hidden Gems that I posted on my personal Instagram page that he liked and made a comment on about. It had been no more than 2 or 3 days ago, but this is a very sudden and shocking passing, and I'll say more about it in the next taping we have later this week. But Blade, I just want to say we're all going to miss you here, and it's just a sad and tragic loss. The world lost a very funny and talented guy. But in the meantime, let's get with our scheduled episode for today, which is the 1979 DC / Hanna-Barbera / NBC specials, Legends of the Superheroes.
This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Spoiler number 1 is Dr. Lee frowns. It stinks.
What is going on? What is going on?
Episode 149, submission number 663, Legends of the Superheroes. Legends of the Superheroes aired on NBC from January 18th to January 25th, 1979 for 2 episodes.
2 primetime specials, I might add.
Oh, yeah. And you want to know how big this was?
Yeah.
Listen to who they got to do the opening.
Oh, okay. Harry Owens!
Yep!
Oh, my God. Well, guys, the reason we picked this episode for this week is because a big event happened on HBO Max this month.
4 hours big.
Oh, 4 hours big. In 4:3 aspect ratio in IMAX. But it's at home, so you don't get to see it in IMAX.
No.
You get the black bars on the left and right screen like you're watching a 2001 pan and scan DVD. Zack Snyder's Justice League.
It's the movie you love in the theater.
But with 100% less Joss Whedon writing.
Yeah. This was basically the movie as it was intended. So apparently, Zack Snyder wanted this movie to go really, really, really long.
Yes.
But you know what? Avengers was like 3 hours and change, so what the hell do I know?
Endgame specifically.
Yeah. Endgame was like 3 hours and
this
change.
is what I don't get about people complaining about, oh, this is 4 hours. You guys didn't complain when Endgame was 3 hours.
Well, that's different. Endgame was good.
I understand that, but still, if you sat through 3 hours of Endgame, you can sit through at least 1 hour of slow motion in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And also, you're not watching this in the theater, you're watching it in your house. You could take a break whenever you want.
You can, you know. You don't have to take it all at once. You can, space it out.
Even divided it into chapters.
You don't have to watch all of it.
No.
But we're getting off topic here.
Yeah, this is not a podcast where we talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League. We are here to talk about something from 40 years earlier.
Yes, before we had the Arrowverse and their yearly epic events, which, by the way, make for some of the best television on television today, right? The Arrowverse crossovers.
Oh, Crisis on Infinite Earths last year.
Yep, that was incredible. The Hall of Justice reveal at the end of Crisis.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss. Alec Moore, we miss you. But we didn't have the Hall of Justice 40 years ago.
No.
We had some cave-looking thing.
Some cave-looking thing on NBC.
Yep. And who was in this cave-looking thing? A collection of the greatest superheroes ever to be assembled in a single place. Except not really. Because this is 1979, and you're missing two key DC heroes. Two key DC heroes you're missing in 1979. Superman, who wasn't going to be in this special for obvious reasons.
Well, because the first movie with Christopher Reeve would have been a year earlier, and we'd be a year away from the sequel.
And Wonder Woman, again, for obvious reasons.
Because it was already on TV at this time with Linda Carter.
And like fun, any of those are going to appear on NBC for what turned out to be a just really quick, really cheap, really wrong sort of couple of specials that ended up airing. Because, well, Legends of the Superheroes was basically, it was a reunion on the scale of the 60s era Batman. They even got Adam West and Burt Ward and Frank Gorshin to reprise their roles as the Caped Crusader, the Boy Wonder, and insert nickname for the Riddler here.
Oh my God, yes. I was so happy to see Adam West and Burt Ward back in the roles again, along with Frank Gorshin. By the way, guys, this will not be the last time we'll be talking about Frank Gorshin this year, because at the end of the year we'll be talking about him, because he was a voice in Rudolph's Shiny New Year.
It's true.
Yes.
But lest you think that Batman and Robin are the only superheroes that are legendary, well, we heard Gary Owens in the beginning go over the roster of superheroes that they ultimately chose. Aside from the lack of Superman and Wonder Woman, this was basically billed as a live-action version of Challenge of the Super Friends, which would have been airing, strangely enough, on another network.
What?
Yeah. I mean, Hanna-Barbara and DC were behind this series of specials.
Yes, I know that.
But Super Friends was on ABC. This was on NBC.
Oh, because that might explain why it's not called Super Friends.
Yeah. So let's go over the legendary superheroes that are the Legends of the Superheroes. First of all, you have Captain Marvel, Earth's mightiest mortal.
And just to clarify, this is Shazam.
Yes. The hero that is now known as Shazam.
We're not going to get into a long story about why he was then Captain Marvel and now he's Shazam.
We'd be here all day.
We'd be here all day talking about that. Let's just say, for the purposes in 1979, he was the DC Captain Marvel.
And he was played by a gentleman by the name of Garrett Craig, who you would know from future entry Man from Atlantis, and Heaven and as a swimmer in the movie Heaven Can Wait. That's pretty much all he did.
Okay.
It's like he did a whole lot of bit roles in the 1970s, and you know what they say, there are no small roles, there are only small actors. Or, something like that.
Yeah.
All right. And then you have the Green Lantern in Brightest Day and Darkest Night and all that good stuff. He was played by a guy named Howard Murphy. I don't know who he is either.
Who knows?
But yeah, he is another one of those guys who did stuff in the 70s and 80s. Just surfing from role to role.
Okay.
This is perhaps his most notable role. And Again, we wish this was a video podcast because he's talking to fortune teller. We will get there.
We'll get to the who's playing the fortune teller later.
Then you have Hawkman.
Hawkman!
Yes. Played by Bill Knuckles. And we've talked about Bill Knuckles before.
Yes, because he was in previous entry. Say it, Mike.
Super Train!
Yeah! Super Train!
Yep.
And the thing is, if you look at his IMDb page, he has 3 entries. Super Train for 5 of the 6 episodes, Legends of the Superheroes, and Sunset Cove, where he played Moose.
Moose!
Let me guess. He's playing the exact same role in all 3 shows.
How'd you guess?
It's a gift, Michael. It's a gift. Then you have the fastest man alive, the Flash, played by Rod Hassa.
And we're just going to assume that this is the Barry Allen Flash.
Yes. And his most notable role is... Actually, he has no such... Actually, no. Mike, you'll love this. He played Wally in the Gong Show movie.
Yeah, he did. Not a big part, mind you, but it's a movie I have on Blu-ray.
Wait,
don't buy it. I wasted my money. Don't buy it.
Oh,
Don't buy it.
Okay.
I was going to say, the Gong Show movie's on Blu-ray? Who released that?
Yeah, it was released a couple of years ago.
I know, but what company released it?
If I knew where my Blu-ray cases were, I could tell you. They're here somewhere.
Shout Factory released it.
Of course it would be Shout Factory. It's like, for every 3 or 4 good Shout Factory releases, you get...
one crappy one.
You get a Gong Show movie.
I'll tell you what, Kino Lorber wouldn't release that.
Yep.
Kino Lorber releases quality.
Okay, I'll let you believe that.
No, but it's true. They released SOS Titanic.
Oh, that's true. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that sometime next month. And then you have the Huntress, who in at least up either New 52 or just before, but definitely in the WB series Birds of Prey, is the daughter of Batman and Catwoman.
Yeah, I think at this time in 1979, she was more known as an Earth 2 character, I think, because she's also the daughter of Batman and Catwoman on Earth 2.
Yeah. And getting into the origin story, Helena Wayne, by the way, was her real name, joined the law firm of Cranston and Grayson. 3 guesses who the Grayson was.
Yeah. That's in future entry Birds of Prey 2003.
Mm-hmm.
And the character is in the 2020 movie Birds of Prey.
Which is actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah, where the character of Huntress is the daughter of a crime boss played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Who
is actually a really good actress. By the way, one, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, of course, Scott Pilgrim.
And 2, Tar Heel in the House.
Oh, I didn't know she went to North Carolina.
She didn't, but she is from Raleigh.
Oh, okay. So, well, she's Wolfpack in the house.
Well, yeah, I guess you can say that. Anyway, this version of the Huntress is played by Barbara Joyce, who didn't do much. Actually, she was a regular in another future entry, the Ken Berry Wow Show.
Wow.
That's what I just said.
Oh, my.
What are we watching?
Oh, it's just a tennis match.
So this is tennis. Wow! 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 Wow!
15, love.
That was just 1 point?
Federer and Hastings are known for their long rallies. Federer to serve.
Wow! 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 Wow!
15 all.
And this is just the first game of the first round of a 3-week tournament? Yay!
she got to hang out with Carol Burnett and Steve Martin and Terry Garr and Cheryl Land. Yeah, it was the 70s. They needed a token African American. Sadly, she's no longer with us.
Oh.
Yeah. And then you have Black Canary, who I'm guessing is just an excuse to show Danuta Wesley in a revealing onesie.
Ooh.
Hey, I know what you're thinking, and it almost happened in one of the episodes. Yeah. But yeah, she was basically, I guess she was hired during the 70s to be eye candy.
Yeah. Pretty
Go
much.
figure.
Go figure.
Yeah. And of course, Batman and Robin are Adam West and Burt Ward. We mentioned this. Try and keep up. But you had the superheroes. You also had... Oh, wait. There was one more superhero that appeared in the second episode, but not the first episode. And that was the Atom.
The Atom.
Yes.
Played by
Alfie Wise.
a future installment, Trauma Center.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a guest star in previous installment, The Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour.
It always comes back to the Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour.
Oh, and this isn't going to be the last time we'll be discussing someone related to game shows in this episode.
Nope, not even remotely close. That was our sort of listing of the superheroes, because we can't call them the Justice League, and we can't call them the Super Friends. So we're just going to call them what they call themselves.
Superheroes.
The superheroes.
Yeah, straightforward.
Yeah. So now we go into the Legion of Doom.
They couldn't call them the Super Friends, but they can still call themselves the Legion of Doom.
Go figure. Okay, you have Solomon Grundy, played by Mickey Morton. He was in previous entry, the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh.
As Mala.
Oh my God!
And
So Solomon Grundy was Chewbacca's wife.
And Greg is dead.
Well, just remember, Peter Mayhew in the Star Wars Holiday Special was kissed by a man. Thanks, Blade.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay, and then you have playing Weather Wizard from... You know who Weather Wizard is if you've ever seen The Flash. Sort of the prototype to Captain Cold, although there are two different characters there.
He's Dollar Tree Captain Cold.
He's Dollar Tree Captain Cold, thank you. But playing Weather Wizard from previous entry, Pink Lady...
Jeff Altman!
I see Mike with that grin on his face. Playing Sinestro, he's a very funny guy. He has a command of the English language. He's all like, bah! And like, and he used to announce for the Jerry Lewis show, which is going to be covered in his future entry. It's Charlie Callis.
Charlie Callis.
Oh, I love Charlie Callis.
I love Charlie Callis too.
He was like the main reason I watched the Dom DeLuise show back in the day. And the show comes to a screeching halt. The Dom DeLuise show was good back in the late 80s.
The only Dom DeLuise show I recognize is Lots of Luck.
By the way, that's also a future entry.
Now, you know he did Candid Camera.
I knew that. Because I grew up on it. I mean, that used to air right before Montel when I was growing up. Yes.
Candid Camera was before Montel where you lived.
Where I lived, in southeastern Arizona, near Tucson, Candid Camera aired before Montel.
What? You had some weird affiliate if you had Candid Camera before Montel.
Well, it depends what time of day we're talking.
Yeah, true. We have Giganta, played by Alicia Brevard, who was an entertainer, actress, model, Playboy bunny, professor of theater, author, and also underwent one of the first sex reassignment surgery procedures performed in the United States.
Oh.
So, landmark LGBT representation there. Awesome.
Okay.
Sadly, no longer with us.
Oh.
And then you have, as Dr. Savannah, Howard Morris.
Of course, Dr. Sylvana, the chief enemy of Captain Marvel / Shazam, who was played by Mark Strong in the 2019 Shazam movie.
And really, where you'd know Howard Morris's name from? He played the Hamburglar.
What?
I'm not kidding about that. He portrayed the Hamburglar, according to IMDb, from 1971 to 2000.
Wow. 29 years of being the Hamburglar.
From Your Show of Shows with Sid Caesar to that.
And also, a little bit better, at least talking about TV shows, he was also the voice of Wade the Duck on Garfield and Friends, with the U.S. Acres cartoons.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that.
The U.S. Acres cartoons are going to be a future installment.
Although I liked the U.S. Acres cartoons.
Oh, they were great.
They were awesome.
I love the egg, the egg on U.S.
I
Acres.
was always Sheldon.
Oh, Sheldon was awesome.
You know, we have and to this day we have no idea what goes on in that egg.
No.
We never did find out.
Anyway, Mordru, oh god, the Lord, the most prominent Lord of Chaos, and the adversary of both the Justice Society of America, the Legion of Superheroes, and something I think is due for a sort of reboot. Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, played by Gabriel Dell, who was a member of the Dead End Kids, the East Side Kids, and the Bowery Boys. Sort of a bunch of New York collectives. But you could see him. Either he or Don Franks was the uncredited actor playing the voice of Boba Fett in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Or if you couldn't see him, you could definitely hear him.
Oh, and by the way, the Boba Fett cartoon from the Star Wars Holiday Special was recently announced. It's going to be on later this year on Disney+.
Yes! I want to see that.
We should do a live show of that cartoon.
We should. And then you get to the second episode, where you have Aunt Minerva, played by Ruth Buzzy. And if you don't know who Ruth Buzzy is, seriously, what podcast are you even listening to? And not so much a hero or a villain, but a couple of side characters. On the first special, you have Retired Man / the Scarlet Cyclone, played by William Shallert, which we'll talk about in future entry, The New Gidget. But his career was...
Oh, he's one of the legends.
He is... Oh, God.
He really is. Where his name immediately came to mind for me was he played Martin Lane and Kenneth Lane on the Patty Duke Show. He was Patty Duke's and the twins' dad.
Patty and Kathy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Patty's...
They're identical
Patty's
cousins,
father and Kathy's uncle.
Yes.
Or is it Kathy's father and Patty's uncle?
Yes.
He played the father, yes.
He played the father / uncle on the Patty Duke Show.
Okay, now I'm confused.
Okay.
This is the part...
And he was in the cast of one of the most iconic episodes of the original series of Star Trek ever. The Trouble with Tribbles.
The Trouble with Tribbles, yes! And we'll talk about the Tribbles in the Star Trek animated series in the sequel episode, More Tribbles, More Troubles.
And then, oh Jesus, I'm going to have to start going to church or something, because second episode had a guy by the name of Ghetto Man, played by Brad Sanders.
Yeah, he appears in the roast.
And it is I don't know what's worse. Him or Marsha Warfield acting like the Greek chorus in a phone booth in the challenge episode. Because here's Marsha Warfield as the Greek chorus in the phone booth. They give her some of the most racist crap imaginable to say.
It is a long time before Night Court.
Yes, it is.
And we should also mention one role Brad Sanders had, and this, I think, was a show we mentioned last week. He played the voice of Tequila on Tequila and Bonetti.
Yes! Tequila and Bonetti.
Interestingly enough, Brad Sanders still working really hard on his craft. He was in Bad Boys for Life last year, and he's in an episode of Black Lightning this year.
Oh, so he's back in DC with Black Lightning.
He's in the proper televised universe.
Yes, the Arrowverse, of course.
Yes, the Arrowverse. Because I keep forgetting. Well, thanks to DC Universe, now there's like two sort of DC universes.
Because of was it Titans and Doom Patrol?
You have Titans and Doom Patrol on one end, and then you have all the CW shows on the other.
Yeah. But isn't all that DC Universe stuff now all streamlined in HBO Max?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I really need to binge Doom Patrol. I hear it's very good.
Yes, you do.
And especially because T-Dalt's in it.
Yep.
And Brendan Fraser.
Well, Brendan Fraser's voice, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
He's Robot Man. Anyway. And he says basically what we're all thinking. Especially after watching these two episodes, which we'll go over right now. So.
Wait,
am I missing something?
You didn't mention Hawkman's mother.
Oh, I didn't mention Hawkman's mother. She's played by Pat Carroll.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you don't know who Pat Carroll is...
Oh, yeah. Stop listening to this podcast.
Just stop, okay? Just stop listening and, I don't know, go to something else or something.
But also playing a host in one of the episodes. I think this is the connection you were trying to make earlier to game shows. Ed McMahon.
That wasn't the connection. We'll get to that later.
That's a connection.
Ed McMahon, of course, is a connection.
Okay.
But of course, he was hosting what? He was hosting the U.S. version of Who Done It this time, wasn't he?
Yeah. It was 79. I don't know if it was necessarily this early in 79, but yes.
And playing the role of Rhoda Rooter.
Rhoda Rooter. Ha 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 ha.
Get it? It's a joke on Rhoda.
Yeah. Is June Gable, who you know as Joey's agent Estelle on Friends.
Oh, okay. So she was responsible for booking him on that 1 week of Pyramid.
Yep. And that's basically all of your superheroes, deuteragonists, and the Legion of Doom. So, how did DC and Hanna-Barbera, A, conceive a live-action version of Superfriends, and B, put it on a different network? Well, it all goes back to a guy by the name of... These couple of names look familiar. The specials were directed by Bill Carruthers and Chris Darley. Chris Darley, legendary game show producer, obviously. And Bill Carruthers was one of the creators of what would ultimately become Press Your Luck.
Yes. And he was also, if I'm not mistaken, the executive producer of previous installment, The Neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was.
The 1975 version with Regis.
And so they got together with Joseph Barbera, of course, he of Hanna-Barbera, to produce this. It's like, what can I say? It is just this. And I'll tell you right now, I've watched both of the episodes. This is just some of... It's like, to say this, that the writing is crap would do absolute injustice to the fecal movement as we know it.
Haha, Injustice, I see what you did there.
And unlike most superhero dramas of the day, and especially unlike Batman, this was not recorded on film. It was recorded on videotape with some home-cooked laugh tracks. And, of course, this was back when videotape was a very difficult process.
Oh, yes. Especially on-location videotape.
Which, some of this was taped on location. There was a park, a gas station, and a used car lot, all within, like, a 5 to 10 mile radius of Calabasas, California.
Yeah. In fact, during the gas station scene, you could see, like, there's a restaurant, and there's, like, one of the waiters is, like, watching the scene as it's going on. You can see him in the background, the one waiter watching the whole scene.
Yeah, and I believe that waiter was from the Mexican restaurant across the street.
Yes!
By the way, the Sagebrush Cantina, as we record this, is still very much open, I believe.
Oh, that's great! I'm glad to see it's still doing well at the time of COVID.
Yep. Get yourself some, tell the guys that it was a thing sent you. We mentioned that this was sort of a reunion of sorts for the Batman cast. But that wasn't the costume that Batman wore in the Batman series.
Oh, they made a completely new costume for Adam West?
They at least made a completely new cowl and cape.
Oh, okay.
That was like, I'm looking at the cowl and cape, the picture of the cowl and cape. If I'm not mistaken, they were one piece in the original series. This is obviously two different pieces.
No.
Yeah, the story goes that the original cowl that was worn in the series was stripped and recovered by the seamstress who made the cowl for Legends of the Superheroes. She didn't take pictures of it and made the whole thing from memory, and it turns out that the neck was too short.
How does that happen?
Dude, first of all, you are the costume designer. You need to make a cowl and cape for Batman. You take pictures of the damn thing, okay? The cowl was too short, the cape was a different color, and it was two different pieces, obviously. And if I'm not mistaken, Adam West actually had something to say about this. Adam West said in his autobiography that he regretted taking this project, specifically how cheap it was. Of note are the episodes were recorded on videotape rather than film. The heroes' and villains' respective headquarters are clearly the same set. Exterior shots all take place in the same park. Even by the standards of the day, the special effects are crude, and most of the heroes and villain costumes are of low quality. I get what you're going for, but this is prime time in 1980. I mean, have you seen what they did with Kamen Rider in 1980? I'm sure you could put together something of that quality. At least. But, hey, they knew this was... I guess somebody knew that this was going absolutely nowhere, so, you know. Another fun fact about this show, back in the 60s, Burt Ward was wearing stockings. He had to shave his legs for this production. Yeah. He didn't shave his legs for the original television series. He shaved his legs for this.
Wow.
But I'm sure there's more stuff to go over as we talk about the episodes. So, let's talk about the episodes. I shall warn you, the jokes are incredibly dated. And when I say incredibly dated, I mean older than dirt.
But I bet they're still better than the jokes in the Joss Whedon version of Justice League.
Anything's better than the jokes in the Justice League by Joss Whedon. So, the first episode is The Challenge. And the challenge it begins innocuously enough as a retirement ceremony for
Retired man.
Retired man, that's right. And he wants to be called by his old name, the Scarlet Cyclone. Yeah, you're going to be called Retired Man, and you're going to like it. And notice they don't mention the Hall of Justice. It's the Hall of Heroes. Because the Hall of Justice was still on Super Friends.
But, again, the villains are still called the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. By the way, the Legion of Doom's headquarters, still in the same set, only redressed.
So they basically did what the producers of Star Trek II did with the sets.
Yeah.
Of the Enterprise of the Reliant, because they had to redress the set to make people think it was a different set, when in reality it was the same set.
Anyway, the Legion of Doom interrupts the party and tells them that the Riddler, Weather Wizard, Sinestro, Mordru, Dr. Sivana, Tageta, and Solomon Grundy have created a doomsday device that will go off in an hour, killing everyone in the world.
Not that Doomsday doesn't appear until another 13 years.
No. And they have 1 hour to find and destroy said Doomsday device. Which, strangely enough, has a sports fade display on it. I mean, who does that?
This was bad planning by the villains.
Yeah. You know what I mean when I say a sports
Yeah, I know
clock,
what you're talking
right?
about. A sports clock back in the day.
Yeah.
That had that LCD display. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. They used it on The Price is Right before they went all digital. So, the Legion of Doom challenges the superheroes. I almost said one of the forbidden groups of death there, to find and destroy the Doomsday device. Which, by the way, is atop the Legion of Doom's headquarters. It is literally hanging in a cage above the Legion of Doom. So, the entirety of the superheroes goes off on their own separate sort of devices, trying to find clues as to the location of the Doomsday device, planted by the Riddler, because that's sort of his thing. Imagine Shakespeare, but a genius. That is the Riddler talking, by the way. So all of the heroes look to find it. Batman and Robin have the hardest time at it, as the Batmobile is sabotaged and breaks down near a gas station. And in the gas station, Solomon Grundy appears to, well, take care of the superheroes.
No. Solomon Grundy makes the worst convincing gas station attendant ever.
He had a hat on, Greg! So he puts a hat on, nobody knows he's Solomon Grundy.
Even though his face screams Solomon Grundy.
Yep. It's like, I haven't seen big, hulking, gray gas attendants in my lifetime.
No.
Have you?
No.
Have you, Mike?
Cannot say I have.
Okay. So, Batman and Robin escape, and they find themselves in a used car lot run by Weather Wizard.
A used car lot run by Jeff Altman.
I know. Shocking. But he's tried to get them into a lemon. And all Batman has on him is $100. He's Bruce Wayne and all he carries around is $100.
He's a millionaire. And he only has $100 with him? What is wrong with you, Bruce?
And you know what that gets him? A Cold War era Russian motorcycle with a sidecar. Which I guess is better than nothing. Except that the motorcycle and the sidecar end up splitting. Meanwhile, the Flash and the Huntress are, well, running into the park and interrupting somebody's romantic picnic.
Oh.
Why? I mean, seriously, why? And the Green Lantern looks for clues and finds a fortune teller.
And the fortune teller is Sinestro.
Yeah. He got the hint when the fortune teller looked at the Green Lantern's power ring and says, "Ooh, you have such a pretty ring there." And then Green Lantern's like, "Hey, you have a pretty ring too." Cue the dramatic, but not really, special effects fight.
Sinestro did not think this out properly. He could have just taken his ring off, and Green Lantern wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, but you take your power ring off, then you lose.
Oh yeah, then you lose the fortune teller. But then why be a fortune teller at all?
I don't know. It's like nobody involved with this thought of anything. Hawkman and Black Canary find their way to the gas station and have it out with Solomon Grundy until they are captured.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, Captain Marvel is looking for a clue and finds the roadside psychiatrist.
Was that a thing? There's roadside psychiatrists?
I have absolutely no idea.
Mike, was that a thing back in the day? There'd be roadside psychiatrists with like an office, like in the middle of an abandoned street somewhere.
Well, we've all seen what Lucy Van Pelt does.
True. But he sort of probes into Captain Marvel's mind. And, well, not much going on up there. But, ultimately...
Oh, and then Captain Marvel goes to a lemonade stand. Which is...
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. He goes to the lemonade stand. The Flash goes to the lemonade stand. And the Green Lantern goes to the lemonade stand. They drink the lemonade, but it was dosed with a potion to sort of strip them of their superpowers.
And the lemonade stand was run by Dr. Sylvana.
Yes. Meanwhile, Captain Marvel goes to rescue Hawkman and Black Canary from the gas station. And Black Canary, because Marsha Warfield's in the phone booth and she hears everything, gets the location of the Legion of Doom's headquarters. And because she's Black Canary, what's her power? Screaming really loudly.
How long has Marsha Warfield been on this phone?
I don't know.
It's a payphone from the 1970s. How long is this call?
She must have a lot to say to her girlfriend. Yep. So they all rush to the Legion of Doom headquarters. Of course, some of them with more powers than others. But
But also, beforehand, there was like a scene with jet skis.
Yeah. Batman and Robin, they need to get to the Legion of Dooms, but they can't do it in their motorcycle. A, because motorcycles aren't built for water, and B, because their motorcycle's in two pieces. But that's okay, because we have a pair of jet skis with nobody riding them. So Mordrew's on a jet ski. Batman and Robin are chasing him on jet skis. And ultimately, everybody arrives at the Legion of Doom headquarters. Which is not easy to do if you've ever seen the Legion of Doom. I mean, it just pops up from underneath a swampy marsh. I mean, how does that even happen? Anywho, they have no superpowers, but they go into this elaborate fight, and it looks like all hope is lost when Solomon Grundy accidentally gives the Legion of Doom the de-superizing potion.
Oops!
Sorry about that. So we have this elaborate fight scene between the superheroes and the Legion of Doom, and it ends with Batman and Robin sort of hoisting the Riddler up to his Doomsday device and using his head to deactivate it. And I don't even remember how, but they somehow got their superpowers back as well.
Yeah. And then this special ends with Retired Man.
Scarlet Cyclone.
Oh, yeah. But he comes in late. And he's like, I'm here. And then he takes a nap. And the special ends.
Yeah. And that's basically all there is to it, except there isn't, because Greg, tell us what happened in the roast.
Ed McMahon hosted a roast for superheroes. And a bunch of stuff happened.
Wow. That's basically the long and short of it.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing. I tapped out after.
You tapped out after the challenge? I tapped out after.
No, I tapped out after the scene with, what's his face? The guy from Keil and Benetti.
Ghetto Man?
Ghetto Man, yeah, I tapped out.
Yep, I was done.
I'm like, nope.
Nope.
But there's some stuff with Retired Man in it, which we'll play right here.
Retired Man. Right this way, sir. This way, sir. Right down here, sir. Right this way. Right this way. Those leaps.
Hi, kid.
It's nice to meet you, Retired Man. It is really nice to meet you.
Don't call me Retired Man. Why don't you call me by my old name, the name that struck fear in the hearts of villains, the Scarlet...
The Cyclone.
Where?
No, you, sir, you. You are the Scarlet Cyclone.
You know it, Bob. Remember this? Oh, heck.
We do get... What do we get here?
We got Hawkman's mother. We got Alfie Wise as the Atom.
Of course. And we have, again, Ghetto Man. And I'm thinking to myself, why?
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 Look, we know it's 1979, but seriously!
Like, what ever possessed you to think that this was a good
Was the
idea?
Jon Stewart version of Green Lantern around at this time?
No.
Did they establish that Martian Manhunter's human disguise was black yet?
No.
Okay, so we had no choice.
Yeah. So what started out as a tribute to Batman and Robin ends up as, well, everybody ripping on everybody. It wasn't even that funny.
No!
It's like, it didn't have, like, at least the challenge had some sort of, I don't know, thing.
At least the challenge had Frank Gorshin as the Riddler.
Yeah.
You didn't even get Frank Gorshin in this.
Nope.
Well, at least you have Jeff Altman back, but I mean, still.
At least you had Ed McMahon.
Oh, Ed McMahon, yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you gave Ed McMahon had like some of the best lines. It's like, he hadn't seen this. You know what? Let's just play the Ed McMahon intro.
Good evening. On behalf of superheroes everywhere, and super heroines, or super persons if you prefer, I bid you welcome. Tonight we're going to relax and enjoy ourselves, and to take charge of the festivities is a man who's famous for relaxing and enjoying himself. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Ed McMahon.
hadn't seen people dressed like this since I had lunch at Alice Cooper's house. Beautiful. Look at all those capes. This looks like Truman Capote's closet, doesn't it? I'm delighted to be here tonight with all my favorite superheroes. Now, if you're a comic book fan, you know that they're all here. These guys have superpowers. Some of them got them by falling into a vat of liquid. That happened to me last week at the Budweiser plant. Yeah.
I wish Ed McMahon had given, like, I don't know, like, Huntress a giant check.
Must not make the obvious joke. Aside from that intro from Ed McMahon, nothing of any consequence happened in this particular episode. I don't even remember how many people watched it.
No. I'm sure the kids loved it.
I'm sure, yeah, the kids love Ghetto Man. See, that's why the world's in such a state right now.
Oh, yeah. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Bill Carruthers.
And if you want to, first of all, if you want to watch this, you should probably have yourself examined.
But it is available on DVD from Warner Archive,
which is their MOD DVD service.
Yes.
But yikes.
Well, I'll give one positive. You got Adam West and Burt Ward.
Yep. And they were as on it as ever.
Yes.
It's like back in 1979, Adam West and Burt Ward knew that they would forever be known as Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
They didn't even try and, fight it at this point.
No. I mean, at this point, Adam West was on Memphis television as Batman doing an angle with Jerry Lawler.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It happened. Look it up.
I will look it up later.
But you know what?
Yeah.
Legends of the Superheroes. It was a big event in 1979 on NBC.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, you know what it was?
It was a thing on TV.
Yes. I'll tell you what. We've come a long way from Legends of the Superheroes. We are spoiled now.
We are spoiled. I mean, you look at a superhero drama on the CW or HBO Max or Disney Plus or all of the MCU things, and I'm thinking to myself, we are so sophisticated now.
Yes.
How did we ever get here? Oh, writers who actually cared about the source material and the production. That's how we got here. Silly me. But, we just can't leave this alone. Right?
No.
Let's do some shopping!
Oh.
Okay, so I found this. It is a trading card. PSA DNA certified. A Howard Murphy as the Green Lantern, and it's signed by Howard Murphy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this a custom card or is this an actual?
No, this is an actual card from 1979.
Wow.
And it's signed by Howard Murphy.
Who made this card?
Was it have no
was it
idea.
Topps?
I don't think it was Topps. I think it was
maybe Fleer.
Fleer might have done non-sports stuff back then.
It might have done it, but yeah, you have this card: Green Lantern, Howard Murphy in costume as the Green Lantern. Mike, you like trading cards? What are you bidding on this?
Greg likes them too, though. $69.99.
Nice. Greg?
$1, Bob.
Oh!
The actual buy-it-now price for a 1979 Howard Murphy Green Lantern signed Legends of the Superhero PSA slabbed card. Oh, Mike, you were really close. $75.
Hey!
Well, it's not like the $499.99 WrestleMania 2 ring from last week.
No, it's not. But holy hell. I mean, this is... you know what? This is a collector's item. I hate to sound like a guy trying to hawk something, but this is really a collector's item. I mean, I defy you to find something worth remembering about this show. On second thought, please don't. Because reasons.
Wow!
Mr. Wayne. Clark Kent, Daily Planet. What's your position on the Bat vigilante in Gotham? This Batman thinks he's above the law.
Zack, you're the new guy in town, is that right?
You could say that.
We do things a little differently in Gotham.
Do you?
I know you.
I don't think so.
Excuse us.
People ever tell you look like Superman?
No, I've never heard that before.
Huh.
Like I said, Mr. Wayne, people in Gotham need to learn.
You're Superman.
Hey, will you
take a picture with us? Get one for me and Soup. I gotta get this on the gram. Thanks. My wife's a big fan.
What do they call it when, there's a celebrity that your wife would have sex with?
You're that guy.
Okay.
say cheese?
Wait a minute. Put the phone back up for a second.
You're Batman. I got Batman and Superman over here.
Look, I think you have me confused with somebody else.
Yeah, look at that.
Hey, f*** off.
Whoa, this is awesome.
I'm just having a conversation.
Oh, I didn't realize you were having a conversation. Hey, everybody, they're having a conversation. They don't want any regular people to bother them. I'll just leave you guys alone then. Thank you.
Anyway, as I was saying, I think the people of Metropolis need to learn that they can't trust an alien with the power to burn the entire civilization down.
Batman and Superman. They're having a fight.
Is that so?
I don't know what's going on. Hey, I'll call you back. Yo, what up, Periscope? It's your boy Jim. I'm here with Batman and Soup.
Shut your mouth or I'll throw you off this planet.
And I will rip your off.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah. I don't need some fancy cologne to tell me I'm a man. I use Skin Bracer. It smells great, but it also cools and tones my skin. Confidence is very sexy. Don't you think? Original and cooling blue.
By men.
Billy! Larry! Friday, meet Larry's perfect brother.
I hope you got the brains.
They're perfect strangers. Then, Uncle Jesse's back. Full house. And
I have to observe someone at work and write a report about it.
wouldn't you rather observe a fireman or a policeman?
I would, but I'm wanted by both.
Mr. Belvedere after Perfect Strangers and Full House.
Tonight. This is CBS. CBS Sports Break, sponsored by Bud Light.
Good evening. College basketball's Final Four is now set. Kansas's Danny Manning, with 22 points, took control in the second half as Larry Brown's Jayhawks beat North Carolina State for a ticket to Dallas. That's where they'll meet #1 Duke in one of the national semifinals. Johnny Dawkins' 20 second-half points propelled the Blue Devils past Navy. And in the other Saturday semifinal, Louisville will take on Louisiana State. More after this.
Don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light. Whoa.
Ask them to bring out their best.
Bud Light.
Bud Light. The less-selling light beer with the first name and taste. Everything else is just a light.
In boxing, heavyweight Terrell Biggs fractured his right collarbone in the second round, but still managed to win a unanimous decision over Jeff Sims. And in golf, Calvin Peete warmed up for next week's TPC with a 5-stroke win in New Orleans. For CBS Sports Break, I'm Jim Nance.
Tuesday, the Equalizer moves to his new night.
You may wake up dead if you don't do as I tell you. Now, come on.
A journey through the singles bar scene reveals a conspiracy of murder.
What do these guys want from me, huh? I intend to find out.
This is no ordinary crime. This calls for the Equalizer. Tuesday.
I'm not talking about a mermaid.
Thursday, a young boy from beyond the grave beckons Magnum to uncover an old murder. Then, Simon and Simon resort to dirty tricks to save a friend's marriage.
How slimy can you guys get?
And Abby's world crumbles around her.
Your wife knew who fathered those babies right from the very beginning.
On Knots Landing, Thursday.
It's the year 2084, and they're just kids with a grown-up job, saving mankind.
This planet's in trouble. They qualified you to serve aboard the Earthstar Voyager. Weapons are not a high priority.
Look out! Captain, there's a life force present. It could be dangerous.
Free, inner door secure.
Complete the mission. Keep going. Keep going!
Good luck, Voyager. You're going to need it.
Disney's Earthstar Voyager.
We're so upset at Herb for not coming to Burger King, we're offering a Whopper for 99 cents to everybody but Herb. Just say,
I'm not Herb.
I'm not Herb. And get a Whopper for just 99 cents when you buy fries and a medium Pepsi.
I'm not Herb.
I'm not Herb. And what if your name happens to be Herb? Just say,
I'm not the Herb you're looking for.
Remember, a 99-cent Whopper when you buy fries and a medium Pepsi. Just for saying.
This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Total Red Man has ever done something like this to me!
It's,
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the dregs of humanity!
Episode 150. Submission 1713. Not another high school show. Not Another High School Show was an unsold pilot for Comedy Central around 2007. Well, Mike, one movie I know you're rather fond of, as well as I, is a 2001 movie called Not Another Teen Movie.
Fun fact, it is the 4th ever DVD I ever purchased.
How's that a fun fact?
I thought it was a fun fact.
Did you get that when in that Greed Interactive game when Sony was just giving out DVDs?
No, I actually bought a copy.
You actually bought a copy. I actually bought my copy from...
I bought my copy from the Best Buy. It was the first DVD I purchased out of college.
Okay, I purchased my DVD when it was previously viewed from Blockbuster at one I worked at for less than $10.
And I won like 5 of them playing Greed.
Yeah.
By the way, Sony, you still owe me a DVD from Greed Interactive. It's been 20 years!
Yeah. Are we going to have to talk to you like we talked to Wake Martindale about the Alfred Hitchcock Deadpool thing? Anyway. So, Not Another Teen Movie was sort of the genesis of the Silver Age of the movie parody. Except Not Another Teen Movie was actually good, and then everything that came afterwards was crap.
Everything...
Except for Scary Movies 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
Was this before Scary Movie?
No, Scary Movie 1 would have been 2000.
Yeah, Scary Movie came first.
Okay, that's what I thought. So, okay. So this was sort of like a kind of spin-off-ish?
But not really?
But not really. It was sort of derivative in the same manner. Instead of, poking fun at horror movies, it was poking fun at
teenage movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it poked fun at your Friday Night Lights and your American Pies.
Yeah. This was, of course, before Jason Freeberg and Aaron Seltzer killed the genre in the mid to late 2000s.
Yeah, he said it, and he said it with his whole chest. So, yeah, you have Not Another Teen Movie. It made $66.5 million off of a $15 million budget, which, let's be honest, most people would love to make 4 times their budget back.
And hey, you know what the craziest part of that movie is?
What?
That movie is basically Supergirl's sister trying to score with Steve Rogers. Or Johnny Storm.
Well, flip a coin and see which one you get, yeah. Yeah, well, I remember watching Fantastic Four, and I'm thinking to myself, that's the guy from Not Another Teen Movie.
No. I know what you know what I was thinking.
I know what you were thinking.
That's the guy from the GSN botulism commercial.
That's what you were thinking.
Botulism.
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 Salmonella?
Game Show Network.
So, Comedy Central decides in 2007, hey, people really liked Not Another Teen Movie. What if we made it into a TV show? So Mike Bender, who helped write Not Another Teen Movie, was brought on to sort of produce and conceive Not Another High School Show.
And this was directed by Joel Gowan, who directed Not Another Teen Movie.
Mm-hmm. So, Not Another High School Show will do for teen dramas what Not Another Teen Movie did for teen theatricals.
Now remember, this is 2007. What was the big show on television around the 2000s in this genre?
That would be Dawson's Creek.
No, Dawson's Creek was like a couple years earlier.
The Hills?
No, that's a reality show. Okay, I'll just say it.
Yeah.
The O.C.
The O.C., of course. Wasn't that pretty early, too?
It was early mid-aughts. Like 2003, 2004 it premiered.
They basically took every teen, basically a pastiche of every teen drama, reality or otherwise, over the past 10 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was Not Another High School Show. And I watched it, and I thought to myself, this isn't funny, it's just silly.
No, yeah, it's just...
It's not like funny like on Not Another Teen Movie was funny. It was just silly.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely silly.
I would almost say it was like unguided silliness. There really wasn't a real roadmap as to where they were going.
No. They just decided, you know what? We're going to make the pilot. We're going to make it like we did Not Another Teen Movie. And if and when we get picked up for series, we'll worry about connecting all of the dots. But let's be honest, nobody goes into a pilot thinking that.
No.
Yeah, it had too many plots. I mean, you may have an A plot and a B plot.
And
it almost seemed like we got down to like about a J or K plot.
Yeah.
Too much going on, and they really didn't tie it all together that well at the end.
So, let's talk about who actually got picked up for this high school. By the way, the name of the high school is, I'm not kidding you, La Playa Beach Creek Hills High School.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in. And so is all of the connections between the cast members here. We start out in the bad neighborhood.
The bad neighborhood.
We know it's the bad neighborhood because it says so on the graffiti on the wall.
They literally graffitied the bad neighborhood.
Yeah. And we meet Brian Atkins, who is played by John Keefe, who is known mostly as that guy from that movie. He was also in 2 Return of the Living Dead films in 2005. Yep. We are not kidding, folks. His brother, or at least I think...
Oh, yes. Playing his brother is the one connection from Not Another Teen Movie.
No, there's another connection.
Oh, there's 2 connections. Oh, they're right. There is 2 connections.
There's another one besides.
But we won't spoil it yet. We'll wait till the end. But still, we have Eric Christian Olsen in this special playing the brother.
So now that we have... oh, by the way, his brother, he gets killed.
Yes! You have your cameo. He's done.
He's dead. He's done. You don't have to worry about him. Put him out of your mind.
He's about as dead as that celebrity cameo at the beginning of every Police Squad episode.
Yep. So now we go over to the sort of father figure that takes him in. Because, you need a father figure.
He's basically the Peter Gallagher from the OC of this pilot.
Yes. Brian, who's taken in by a hotshot lawyer by the name of Dusty Goldstein, played by Patrick Cassidy of the insert Southern California city here, Cassidy's?
Patrick Cassidy is actually one of the Cassidys. Patrick Cassidy, appeared with his mother, Shirley Jones, on a special Moms and Sons Week of Tattletales in 1984.
Whoa! Oh!
Yes, Mothers and Sons Week. You had Phyllis Diller and Perry Diller and also Isabel Sanford and Sanford.
Sanford?
That's not double talk. His name is Sanford K. Sanford.
Oh, wow.
But Shirley Jones and Patrick Cassidy were on that week. So, yes, he is part of the family.
And, of course, Sean Cassidy, a noted producer, in fact, produced future installment American Gothic.
If you are a fan of Ruby and the Rockets, he plays Patrick Gallagher in that.
Okay.
And he also plays Henry Small on Smallville.
Oh, all right.
Well, and since we need to obviously make a reference to McLean Stevenson every episode, more seemingly so, he played Johnny Castle in the TV version of Dirty Dancing.
Oh.
And appearing as Dusty's wife and the person who has the most reservations about Brian coming to stay with them, Caitlin Goldstein is played by Stacey Hyduke, who you would remember as Lana Lang from The Adventures of Superboy.
Oh!
Yeah, when they taped that, they taped that in Florida.
Oh, that's right, they did tape Superboy in Florida.
And playing their son, and apparently a big fan of Hugh Jackman.
Of course, because who isn't a fan of Hugh Jackman?
I'm a big fan of Hugh Jackman.
But
he's not a big fan of The Greatest Showman, Hugh Jackman.
No,
he's a fan of X-Men.
Wolverine Hugh Jackman, yeah. Mike, you like Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
No comment.
Okay.
But when you watch this pilot, it's very clear he's a huge Jackman fan. I almost phrased it in a way that I might regret. But yeah, there's a lot of visual gags. He has a bumper sticker on his nightstand, not nightstand, but his headboard that says "I love Hugh," and
he's got a Kate and Leopold DVD.
Well, and then I'm not even kidding about this. He has some sort of chest or box in his bedroom, and he opens it, and it actually says "Jack in the Box."
Jack in the Box.
Yeah, a lot of subtle, stupid humor. But he's a big Hugh Jackman fan, yes. I don't know. Well, did we even say his character's name or who played it?
His character's name is Lawson Goldstein, and he is played by Jeffrey Christopher Todd, who played Tobias Gray for a year on Young and the Restless, and nowadays he's in casting.
Oh, okay. But then don't we get into a subplot involving a Buffy-ish character.
Yeah, named Muffy.
Named Muffy, because get it.
Yeah.
But here's one of the big names in this pilot. Because Muffy is played by Alison Brie.
Yep.
Do we really need to say what Alison Brie is best known for?
Well, where would we start?
Well, obviously, we would start with Community.
Yeah, Community.
Glow.
I mean, those were the two I was really tossing around in my head, but yeah. Mad Men.
Oh, yeah, because she was Trudy on Mad Men.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know who she is. She's beyond a known entity at this point.
Oh, yeah. She is totally yeah. And there's going to be more of these as we go on. And playing Lawson's girlfriend, Charlie, is, I believe it's his girlfriend, Anna Osceola, who is another person who was on Mad Men.
Oh. So a lot of Mad Men connections in this episode.
Yep. Meanwhile, we get to the rest of the high school, where their friend Spring, played by Rachel Spector, of Crazy Ex-Girlfriend and the House Bunny, and has been married to Dan Levy for 10 years.
Whoa!
Yeah.
She was a Crazy Ex-Girlfriend with Rachel Bloom, and she's married to Dan Levy.
Yeah. She wakes up and she's funny. And also, we have sort of the, I want to say, antagonist?
Maybe?
The male antagonist, maybe? I don't know. Brendan Miller, who plays Sean Saunders, who's inviting everybody to his party.
Yeah, he's definitely the antagonist in this.
Yeah, he has like a banner that says, "Bring your nipples to Sean Saunders' party."
Jeez.
So, take from that what you will. But yeah, another notable role, he played young Bison in Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li.
Oh my god! That's another thing we'll have to cover on the eventual spin-off podcast. It was a thing at the movies. Street Fighter, The Legend of Chun-Li.
Yeah.
The only good thing about that movie is Neil McDonough as Bison. That's it.
Kristen Kreuk on line 1, please.
Okay, Christian Krug, but come on, Neil McDonough.
Yeah. And let's talk about another sort of B-plot here. There's a lot of B-plots on this show, where you have Melissa, who meets Brian when it turns out that they live next to each other. Melissa's played by Jocelyn Donahue, who is known for her role in The House of the Devil and in Insidious Chapter 2. But she was also in Future Entry? Startup. She's a scream queen nowadays. And then you have her stepmother, played by Michelle Pierce, who is, at least on the show, 1 year older than Melissa is.
Yeah, that was a little bizarre. Okay, let me rephrase that. Yeah, that was a lot of bizarre.
That was all the bizarre.
Very weird.
Yeah. And her husband and Melissa's father is played by John Bennett Perry, who you would know as Principal Alan Moorhead on Veronica Mars.
Okay.
So yeah, all of this is going on at the same time. By the way, in case you didn't know, Melissa's stepmother is one of the alpha beep-beeps in La Playa Beach Creek Hills High School. And she's making absolutely no effort to hide that.
No.
Half of the scenes that Melissa's in with either Charlie or Spring or Cooch, she is being a real nasty woman.
Oh, I know there's a word you wanted to use, but you held back. Good job.
I'm a professional.
A professional.
And while all of this is going on, Muppy is in the back trying to kill the janitor who she thinks is a teen wolf. By the way, there's an actual teen wolf in this.
Yeah, there's a teen wolf on this show.
Yeah, but also we can't avoid the fact of who played the janitor.
Oh, the janitor is a legend.
The janitor, I think, is a recent legend, not necessarily a legend back.
A legend in the making.
But yeah, he has gotten into much bigger and better things over the last, say, 10 to 15 years. And we're talking about the one and only H. John Benjamin.
Oh, yes.
We're talking Bob Belcher. We're talking Sterling Archer. We're talking Arby's commercials. We're talking Carl, the cashier on Family Guy. What else is he on? I think those are the big ones. He played Coach McGurk. How can I forget that?
Coach McGurk from Home Movies.
Yeah, Coach McGurk on Home Movies.
But he's not the biggest star in this scene.
He's not the biggest star in that scene.
So a girl comes walking up.
Yes.
And John Benjamin decides to hit on this girl.
As he lay dying.
Yeah. And the girl is played by, I'm going to say this right now, out of all 150 episodes, this is the biggest name out of everybody. It's bigger than Jodie Foster in the Paul Lynde Show. It's bigger than whatever big names have we had on this have come up.
Bigger than Deidre Voles.
Bigger than George Burns.
Bigger than George Burns. Okay. Playing the girl John Benjamin is trying to hit on. Jennifer Lawrence.
Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, yeah. Mystique.
Also, I think we should add, she was only 16 at the time this was filmed. Actually, I think she may have just turned 17.
Yeah.
Because she was born in 1990. This is crazy. She is 6 years younger than me.
She's 10 years younger than me.
Okay, but getting back to John Benjamin hitting on basically a 17-year-old. Ew!
Ew? I mean, I get this is acting, and he's playing a role, and she's playing a role, and everybody's playing a role, but still. Ew?
Right. Yeah.
But also remember, this was around the time Jennifer Lawrence was playing a mascot on Monk.
Yep. Now she has an Oscar.
Yeah.
We've gotten to the point of this show where the janitor's being killed by Muppy. Muppy the Vampire Slayer with the guy. Did we get to the part of the show where Lawson is using his job as a school DJ, a la 90210, to sort of talk about Brian?
I don't think so.
Yeah, because he does that. Meanwhile, Charlie is still hung up on Lawson for some reason. Meanwhile, Brian is brooding in the school gym, and in comes the volleyball team. The ambiguously gay volleyball team. And while Brian's trying to do some volleyballs, the ambiguously volleyball team is trying really, really, really hard to get his goat, and Brian's just like, whatever. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is the Sean Saunders we were talking about. Sean is really trying to get on Brian's bad side, but not only is he bad at getting on his bad side, he's also bad at volleyball. But the next scene, at the teenage hangout, Pat's Pit, in comes another familiar face. especially if you're a fan of Benson or Star Trek Voyager. You want to talk about legends?
Oh, yeah.
I got your legend right here. Ethan Phillips.
Yeah! Ethan Phillips.
He plays Pat, the proprietor of Pat's Pit. I'd like to explain what happens in that scene, but we'll get there.
Oh, okay.
It's part of the list of everything that's wrong with this show.
Yeah, of the 20 billion subplots in this 22-minute pilot.
So Melissa invites Brian, and for some reason Lawson, to Sean Saunders' party. Melissa is Sean Saunders' girlfriend, I believe. And let's just say he's a jerk.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to keep things nice and orderly in this non-orderly TV show. Alright, so here's our pool party. Strangely enough, there's not a pool in sight. There is a keg, though.
Okay.
And there is a Muffy looking for a Teen Wolf. And there is a lot of underage drinking.
Of course.
And there is Sean Saunders making out with Melissa's stepmother, who is a year older than Melissa.
Oh, no.
But then Brian and Melissa lock eyes again, and you think something's about to happen, but no.
No.
In comes the next big star, Andy Dick, in a role that only Andy Dick could play, Kenny Bonerman.
Yeah, because he's basically playing a parody of Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused.
All right. Oh, no, that's not all right.
No.
Not even close to being all right. Ah. And finally, Brian confronts Sean and says that he owes Melissa an apology. And he's like, what are you going to do about it? He's going to take a punch. That's what he's going to do about it.
Oh.
Because that's how they do it in the LPBCH.
Damn straight.
And here comes Lawson wearing his Wolverine getup. I wish I was joking. And meanwhile, Muffy thinks she found her Teen Wolf in, Charlie.
Wait, what?
She thinks Charlie is Teen Wolf. And she shoots her with a crossbow. And now Lawson is by Charlie's side, saying that she'll be here until Brian shows up.
What?
Until Brian shows up and he runs in his direction, leaving the medic to literally pick up the pieces. And Brian just thinks, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to go wherever this driveway takes me. But it just so happens he runs into... God, I am not even joking about this. Remember his brother who dies?
Yeah.
At the beginning?
Yeah, he was dead. We saw him. He burned to a crisp.
Yeah, he faked his own death.
What?
He faked his own death to escape from a Nicaraguan drug cartel.
What?
That's what he says. He also says that they don't have to be bad boys anymore. You could wear cardigans and say you're excited about your future and give your brother a hug and also get shot by Melissa for some reason.
Oh,
yep.
No.
And Melissa's like, after what you did to me, I owe you one. I finally found someone as depressed as I am, and I can honestly say it's over with Sean. It's really over. Hey, guess who's rolling up in his Hummer?
Who?
It's Sean!
Oh, Sean! What's he got to say?
I don't know. But I know what Melissa has to say. See you around, Brian. And they spend like 30 seconds not kissing. Or fake kissing. And, you know what? We're just gonna put the next time stinger in here because I can't even.
Oh, yeah, we can't even describe. You have to hear this for yourself.
Yeah.
And you can hear it after the roar at the end of the show.
Jamie Presley as Brian's mom, who had to escape from a Puerto Rican pimp.
And that's your second Not Another Teen Movie connection of 2.
No, that was the third, because...
oh, really?
Yeah, John Benjamin was in Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, okay. So we had Eric Christian Olsen, John Benjamin, and Jamie Presley. That's your 3.
This would have been the time that Jamie Presley probably started on My Name is Earl.
My Name is Earl would have been in its 3rd season at this point, because it started in 2005.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I thought it started like 2007. Okay. So she was already like knee deep in My Name is Earl then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's basically how it ends.
Yeah.
Obviously, Comedy Central did not pick up the show. In fact, we have the blurb from our friends at the Futon Critic, and this was actually the summary they gave of the show. Relative newcomers Rachel Spector of Lonely Hearts, Brendan Miller of Accepted, Anna Osceola, John Keith, Jeffrey Christopher Todd of Slutty Summer, and Jocelyn Donahue have all scored roles on the comedy pilot, a half-hour spoof of teen TV dramas. It's not clear which actor is playing which character detailed in the casting notice. It's not clear who's playing who in the actual pilot, by the way. Among those listed, Brian Atkins, 18 to 24 to play high school. Should be 5'5" or under, think Ryan from the OC. Brian is a troubled, lost kid who lands in hot water when he's arrested after his brother ineptly hotwires a car and dies in the explosion. Brought home to live with Dusty Goldstein, the lawyer handling the case, Brian finds himself the object of the affections of Dusty's son Lawson and their next-door neighbor Melissa, but still has trouble fitting in at school. At a big party thrown by Melissa's jerk of a boyfriend, Sean, Brian gets inspiration from a bad boy character of yesteryear and comes to Melissa's defense against Sean with mixed results.
Okay.
Okay, there actually is a 4th connection to Not Another Teen Movie. And that is Michael Ensign. He played Father O'Flanagan in Not Another Teen Movie, but on Not Another High School Show, he played Jeeves.
Okay. So that's 4.
There's a 4th.
But the less famous of the 4.
The least famous of the 4 by far, yes.
Totally. But yeah, you can see where all of the... if you watch this, because the full pilot's available on YouTube, you can see the obvious references. Muppy is supposed to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer, set by Jeeves to kill Teen Wolf, which is obviously supposed to be Teen Wolf. Whether it's the MTV reboot of the original film, I'm not quite sure there.
No, the MTV reboot wouldn't be until a couple years later.
Okay. So it would actually be...
the Michael J. Fox Teen Wolf.
Okay. Meredith Scott Lynn, who plays Gabby, she looks way too old to be a high schooler, is supposed to be Andrea Zuckerman. Yeah, you heard me. In fact, she was actually she played Enid in Legally Blonde. That's how old she is.
Oh my gosh.
She also has played a couple of voices on Family Guy. Most notably, Brenda and Marcy on Stuck Together, Torn Apart.
Is that the episode where Peter has the vegetable twin under his neck?
No, that's the episode where Brian and Stewie are
they're super glued.
With super
glue. Okay.
Yeah, no, the one you're thinking of is actually Vestigial Peter, I believe it's called.
Yeah, with his twin Chip Griffin.
Yes, with the twin on his shoulder, yes.
Wow! 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 Wow!
Oh god. Kenny Boneman is obviously David Wooderson from Dazed and Confused, as Greg said. Dawson's Creek is actually Lawson and Charlie, who are Dawson, and Joey. And then there's the OC, which is everything else. Ryan is Ryan. Dusty, Caitlin, and Lawson are Sandy, Kirsten, and Seth. Melissa is Marissa, and Spring is Summer.
Get it?
They were very obvious with this.
Obvious references are obvious.
Quite obvious. So why didn't this go to series besides duh?
I think you just answered it. Besides duh.
Yeah.
Well, again, as we've mentioned throughout the show, it was extremely confusing to follow. You had many plots. It wasn't like you had 2 plots or even 3 plots. You had seemingly like 7 plots. And it seemed like it was almost thrown together, kind of, sort of. And then don't get me started on the coming up on the next episode, because that made very little sense.
That's the joke.
Well, I get that's the joke, but it just looked haphazard and was just a mess. It didn't have the flow, the continuity that the movie version had.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they probably were thinking, okay, we're obviously going to get picked up for a series. And
Except they obviously didn't.
Yeah.
Well, and I mentioned this to Greg before we did the show. I think if this actually was done in, say, 2002, right after the movie, I think it had a chance.
But the problem is, in 2002, you wouldn't have all the OC references.
No, understandable, but it's now 6 years later, and it's not one of those memorable movies where, okay, we can go back and people are going to remember it. It was kind of sort of forgettable. I mean, I know it did well in the box office, at least in terms of, 4 times what it cost to produce. But I mean, it was not like it made, $250 million or $300 million. It made only $60 million. So it wasn't that big of a hit.
No, but profit's profit, am I right?
Well, profit's profit, but I think if you ask people about their favorite movies from 20 years ago, this really isn't going to sniff the list that often.
No.
Mm-mm.
Which is sad. I mean, again, I love Not Another Teen Movie, but yeah, this was definitely not another teen movie. If that doesn't sound like double talk.
Oh, just a little bit.
Where's Henry Pollock II when we need him?
That's somewhere down the line. But Comedy Central eventually aired this as a special, I'm guessing, sometime in 2007, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't remember this airing at all.
Well, I may be wrong, but there you go.
Well, this would have been better than watching another rerun of Mind of Ned Wholeness.
He's not wrong.
He is not wrong at all. Well, there you go. Not another high school show. It was incredibly hard to follow. It was incredibly hard to keep up with. And it was incredibly hard to produce and cast. And it was incredibly almost a thing on TV.
Yeah.
Any thoughts?
No, I think Mike said everything. But
yep.
It was, you know what? It had Alison Brie, and it had a cameo from Jennifer Lawrence, and you had Ethan Phillips. That's the only positives I'm going to say about this pilot.
I'd even throw Andy Dick in there.
Okay, Andy Dick was great.
Andy Dick was good, yes.
J.D. Priestley's cameo was funny too.
Oh yeah. It was weird. It was so weird. I'm still waiting for Jamie Presley to show up inexplicably to save this episode. That's not going to happen, is it?
I wish Jamie Presley was here inexplicably to help save Mike's bracket.
Oh boy. if Jamie Presley is listening, maybe she wants to go to itwasathingontv.com, where she can find the other 149 episodes, as well as minisodes, live shows, director's cuts, and of course, links to all of our socials at It Was a Thing on TV, and to our good friends at the Place to Be Nation Pop Experience.
Yeah, unfortunately, because this week I'm going to have the episodes on the wrestling feed. There probably isn't going to be a regular drop on the regular spot. But here's my plan. Chico, I got great news.
What's that?
I'm almost done editing, as we're recording this, the first proper episode of Into the Spidey Movieverse.
Woo!
So on Wednesday, at the time, which would have been yesterday, you can go to the Place to Be Nation Pop Experience and hear me and Chico talk about the first Spider-Man movie from 2002.
It was a good movie.
It was a great movie. We also get to talk about the time when Blockbuster had a giant mannequin-sized Spider-Man that you could win in every store.
And that nobody, strangely, just took it for the costume.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Come on. Anyhow, Pilot Month continues because we loved it so much and you loved it so much. This is actually the first installment of Pilot Month, and we have 2 more coming.
Oh, and the first pilot we'll cover next week. Mike, last year, during last year's Pilot Month, you introduced me to this pilot, specifically for the opening scene, the opening theme song, and what goes on in the opening theme song. And we were like, oh yeah, we're covering this next year.
It's very bizarre.
It's very bizarre. And would you believe that this is based on a play?
Yes, it's actually over 30 years old, and it looks like it did air one time, so it actually was an aired pilot. It's something to behold, let's say that.
It's amazing that this even aired.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we also have something that could very well be described, especially if you're a fan of underground comic books, as something that was honestly too good to be on television. A one-off comic book gets brought to life as a one-off TV pilot.
And I don't even know what this is.
Well, it's an alternative history lesson is what it is. But we'll talk about it more next week as Pilot Month rolls on here on It Was a Thing on TV. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Wow!
Next week on Not Another High School Show.
What's wrong, Cooch?
I'm pregnant, Spring.
Guys, teenage pregnancy can...
If someone ever offers you cocaine, you look him straight in the eye. Then you say you need to sample the goods first. You don't want to get stuck with the cheap shit, do you, Jimmy?
Gang, I want you to meet the latest addition to the fam. Hector Rodriguez.
What's wrong, Cooch?
I lost the baby, Spring.
Guys, a miscarriage is...
And you're not going to want to miss the last 5 minutes for the most shocking ending ever.
Mom? But that's impossible.
Not if I had to fake my death to escape from an abusive Puerto Rican pimp. But don't worry, Mama's back for good this time.